Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear students around the world. Welcome to your new English YouTube channel and classes English course Level 1 A1 Lesson 67. In today's lesson, we are going to practice English in Let's Practice English number 4. Today we are going to give the answers of the previous lesson 66. Let's see. By the end of this mini lesson 67, you will have focused on noun, learned and practiced the following objective. Let's brush up on your English grammar of the previous lessons. Let's practice English number 4. Today we'll see the answers and discuss them. Let's see. Let's practice English 4. Today's lesson is going to give you the answers. Let's go to the first slide. So the question was, write the pronouns that come after the verb. For example, give me. So me is a pronoun that comes after the verb. So do you know all the pronouns that come after the verb? Let's see the answers in the next slide. So pronouns that come after the verb, we call them object pronouns because they come after the verb. So the first pronoun is me. Give me. Listen to me. Help me. The second pronoun is you. I help you. I understand you. The third pronoun is him. Tell him. I help him. The next pronoun is her. Help her. I help her. It. I know it. I understand it. I eat it. So these are for the singular form. Let's go to the plural form. Help us. They understand us. They listen to us. You in the plural form. I help you all. So it's plural. Help them. Listen to them. Give them. So these are the answers. Try to practice them and to remember them. So let's go to the second slide. In the second slide, we have write the pronouns that come before nouns or adjectives and nouns. So these pronouns, for example, let's take mother as a noun. So the pronoun that comes after mother, it's not I. We don't say I mother. We don't say mother me. So the pronoun is my mother, my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my school. So do you know the family of these pronouns? Let's see the slide, the answers. So the answers, so these pronouns, we call them possessive pronouns. So we have my school, my class, my teacher, your, or we can say my beautiful mother, my dear mother. So we have adjective and a noun. My house, my amazing house. So we use it with nouns or adjectives and nouns. Your car or your expensive car. His friend, his intimate friend. So we have adjective and noun. Her cat, her cute cat. Its size. It's small size. Our garden. Our lovely garden. Our mother, our father, etc. Your in the plural form. Your pens. Your colored pens. Their country. Their beautiful country. So these pronouns, we call them in English possessive adjectives, but I put pronouns just to remember because it's very difficult to remember possessive adjectives, so I put possessive pronouns, but they are called possessive adjectives. My, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. My father, your father, his father, her father, our father, your father, their father. My country, your country, his country, our country, your country, their country. Let's go to number 3. So in number 3, write the pronouns that come before the verb. So if I take verb speak, can we say speak me? Or me speak? No. Can we say me speak? No. Can we say my speak? No. So we say I speak. So let's see the answers. So the pronouns that come before the verb, we call them subject pronouns because they come before the verb, because they do the verb. The first pronoun is I. The second pronoun, you. In the third pronoun, we have 3 pronouns: he, she, it. This is singular form. In the plural form, we have we, you, they. So let's repeat after me these pronouns: I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. So why I did let's practice English number 4, and I repeated these in the 4 lessons. Let's practice English 1, 2, 3, and 4 because they are very, very, very important, and the students, they should know them by heart. You should know them. Okay, you shouldn't have any problem with them, because if you want to continue learning with me in this channel, so you need to know these things. If you don't know them, you cannot continue learning with me, because these are very important and basic. Let's go to number 4. In number 4, they say write the correct form of verb to be in present simple positive. Many students, if you say to them what's verb to be, they don't know it, so you should know it. So let's see verb to be in the answers. Positive. So verb to be is and the short form apostrophe m, are the short form apostrophe re, and is the short form apostrophe s. So if you write them in the short form, it's better. If you write them in the long form, no problem. But it's better to write them like this: I am, your, his, she's, its, where, your, there. So you should know this because it's very important in English. So this is level 1 and you should know them today. Let's go to the negative form. So the negative form, let's see the negative form. So the negative form is I am not, aren't, isn't. If you write, for example, the first one is I am not. You should write it like this. If you write I am not, the complete form or the long form, no problem, it's correct. But it's better to write it in the short form. The second one, you aren't. If you write you are not, it's correct, but this is better. You aren't. You aren't. So learn this that we have here. I am not, you aren't, he isn't, she isn't, it isn't, we aren't, you aren't, they aren't. So try to learn from the very beginning the short form, because we use it most of the time in writing and in speaking. The long form, we use it just in writing. We don't use it in speaking In speaking, you shouldn't say you are not, you aren't, he isn't, he is not, she is not. No. So better to use the short form. So this is the negative form of verb to be in present simple. I am not, you aren't, he isn't, she isn't, it isn't, we aren't, you aren't, they aren't. Let's go to the question. How can we make verb to be in the question? So as you know, in the question, the verb to be should come first. So am I, are you, etc. Let's see the answers. So verb to be, am I, are you, is he, is she, is it, are we, are you, are they. So this is verb to be in question. Am I, are you, is he, is she, is it, are we, are you, are they. Can we have in the question I am? Never. Can we have in the question you are? Never. Can we have in the question he is? Never. She is? Never. It is? Never. We are? Never. You are? Never. They are? Never. Why? Because it's positive form. So in the question form, the verb must come first. So am, are, is first. Then the subject pronouns are, you, he, she, it, we, you, they second. I hope you understand this point. Let's continue. Number 7. So in number 7, we are going to practice verbs in the positive, negative, and question forms. Let's see if you know how to put them in these 3 forms. So write these sentences in the correct form in present simple positive. He want to learn English. She go to the gym every day. Alison watch TV in the evening. Jackson miss his family very much. So can we say he want to learn English? No. What do we say? He wants. In present simple, the verb with he and she and it take an S. So the verb takes an S with he, she, it. He wants to learn English. If you write he want without S, it's not correct. The second sentence, she go to the gym every day. So the answer is she goes. Y-E-S. We studied in our lessons of present simple that if the verb ends in O or double S, SH, CH, X, and Z, so with he, she, it, doesn't take just S, takes ES. She goes to the gym every day. Number 3, Alison watch TV in the evening. So Alison watches, so the verb ends in CH. Watches TV in the evening. If you write Alison watch with S, watches with S, it's not correct. ES. And goes, if you write it just with S, it's not correct. ES. Jackson miss his family very much. Jackson misses his family very much. If you write Jackson miss, it's not correct. If you write miss with 3S, it's not correct. So the correct answer is with ES. If you have problems, go to our lessons in this channel of present simple with he, she, it. Let's go to the negative form. So he want to learn English. How can we put it in the negative form? Some students write he not want to learn English. It's not correct. Some students write he isn't want to learn English. It isn't correct. Let's see the correct answer. So when we have he and we have a verb, so we need to use doesn't in the negative form. He doesn't want to learn English. If you write he don't want to learn English, it's not correct. So he isn't is not correct. He don't is not correct. He aren't is not correct. So the correct answer is he doesn't want to learn English. Number 2, she go to the gym every day. So the same answers. If you say she isn't, she don't, it's not correct. Or she not go, it's not correct. So the correct answer, she doesn't go to the gym every day. Alison watch TV in the evening. If you write Alison isn't watch, don't watch, aren't watch, not watch, it's not correct. So Alison doesn't watch TV in the evening. I will explain why. Jackson misses his family very much. If you write Jackson isn't, don't, aren't, isn't, not, they are not correct. The correct answer is doesn't miss his family very much. Now I explain to you the answer why we put doesn't in the negative form. So when we have verbs, for example, want, go, speak, travel, so these normal verbs, so always in the negative form with he, she, it, we put doesn't. Let's go to the next question, Now, how can I make a question of these words but without WH words, as I said in the previous lesson? So he want to learn English. How can I make question? We can say, I can write, he want to learn English and question mark. It's not correct. I can write, he wants with S, because we have he. He wants to learn English question mark. It's not correct. Let's see the answer. The answer is does. So when we have a verb, we need to use does because we have he. Does he want to learn English? Does he? So with does we use it with he, she, it when we have a verb. So when we have a verb. So but you should remember that we don't use does with verb to be. With or is we don't use does. So does he want to learn English? She go to the gym every day. Does she go to the gym every day? Alison watch TV in the evening. Does Alison watch TV in the evening? Jackson miss his family very much. Does Jackson miss his family very much? So as you see, we have he, but the verb doesn't take s or es. Why? Because we have does. So when we have does and doesn't, the verb doesn't take s, even if it is with he, she, it. Let's go to the slide number 10. In the slide number 10, you need just to write these numbers. So I chose these numbers because the students have problems with these numbers. So let's see the answers. 8. The students, they write it without GH. Or they write I and E. 13. The students, they write it with E, not I. And they write it with one E at the end. 15. The students write 15. 28. 20. They write it with I, not E. 30. They write it with A. E, not A, E. 40. They write it with U. 56. 87. 99. 100. 100, they write it with A, not U. So these are the answers. Let's go to number 11. In number 11, write these sentences in the correct form. Present simple, positive. Angela, be a clever girl. So be verb to be in positive in present simple is are, is. Let's see the answer. So Angela, if you write Angela be a clever girl, it's not correct. Angela are a clever girl, it's not correct. So is. Angela is a clever girl. She can play the piano very well. So as you remember, when we studied verb can, we said that verb can doesn't change with all pronouns. So doesn't take s with he, she, it. So I can, you can, he can, she can, it can, we can, you can, they can. So let's go to number 3. Richard fly to Madrid every weekend. Richard flies. So we studied in the lessons of present simple, if the verb ends in y and before it we have a consonant, here we have L, so we delete y, or we drop y, and we put or we add ies. Richard flies to Madrid every weekend. And the last example, Tom teach English at university. So Tom teaches. So we don't add just s, we add es because the verb ends with ch. Tom teaches English at university. So let's see these sentences in the negative form. So what is the negative form of is? If you still remember, so the negative form of is isn't. What's the negative form of can? Can't. And let's see the answers. So Angela, be a clever girl in the negative form. Angela isn't a clever girl. Angela isn't a clever girl. She can play the piano very well. She can't play the piano very well. Can't. So now we have Richard fly to Madrid every weekend. Richard doesn't fly. So when we have a verb, normal verb, so always with he, she, it, we put doesn't. So Richard means he. Richard doesn't fly to Madrid every weekend. And Tom teach English at university. Tom, it means he, so he doesn't. Tom doesn't teach English at university. As we said, in the negative form, the verb remains in the infinitive. The verb doesn't take s, es, or ies. Let's go to the next slide, number 13. In number 13, we are going to make a question. So as we said before, with verb to be, we need to put just the verb first. So here we are not going to use WH words. So Angela, be a clever girl. So is Angela a clever girl? And with can, we said that we can ask the question just with can. Can she play the piano very well? Let's see the answers. So is Angela a clever girl? Can she play the piano very well? And when we have verb, the question is with does. Normal verb, the question is with does, with he, she, it. So does Richard means he. Does Richard fly to Madrid every weekend? And Tom teach English at university. Does Tom, does he? Does Tom teach English at university? Let's go to slide number 14. In slide number 14, we are going to ask questions for the underlined words. As I said in the previous lesson, lesson 66, if we have underlined words in sentences, if we are asked to write questions, don't repeat these underlined words, because if you repeat them, your answer will not be correct. So Emilia has 4 brothers and 5 sisters. So here we are going to ask about number. So to ask about number, we use how many. How many? Let's see the answers. Emily has 4 brothers and 5 sisters. The question is a little bit difficult. So because you are going to do many things in the same question. So the first thing you are going to write is how many. The second word is always after how many we use nouns in the plural form. So how many brothers and sisters? And because we have a verb has, so we need to, in the present simple, so we need to put does. So how many brothers and sisters? Does, and then Emilia, and then have. So how many brothers? So 3 things you are going to do in this question. How many brothers and sisters does Emilia have? If you say does Emilia has, it's not correct, because when we have does, the verb remains in the infinitive. It doesn't take s. Let's go to number 2. Jones usually goes fishing in the morning. So with adverbs of frequency, always, usually, sometimes, often, never, so we use in the question how often. So how often, and we need to put does and then the subject Jones. So how often does Jones go fishing in the morning? Number 3, all the students of this class are 7. So here we are going to ask about age. So how old are all the students of this class? So all the students of this class are 7. And the last question in this slide, Bob's new car is white. What color is Bob's new car? Let's go to the last slide, slide number 15. In slide number 15, every sentence has 2 mistakes. Find the mistakes and correct them, or spot the mistakes and correct them. Sentence number 1. Lubna have 1 sister and 3 brothers. Let's find the mistakes. So the mistake, when we say Lubna, we don't say have, we say has, because she has. I have, you have, he has, she has, it has. So Lubna means she, a girl or a woman. So Lubna has 1 sister and 3 brothers. So the 2 mistakes are have and sisters. Let's go to number 2. David want to go into the United States. So the problem here with want. So with David, it means he. And present simple he, so he wants. David wants. We don't say to go in to the United States, especially after want. So the verb is in the infinitive, to go. He wants to go, not to go in, to go. He wants to go, or David wants to go to the United States. Sorry. Number 3, I can to go at the beach today. So I can go, not to go, I can go. Because after can, the verb comes without to, infinitive without to. And we don't say at the beach, to the beach, go to the beach. So I can go to the beach today. Number 4, I am 24 years old. So when we have apostrophe, we don't write a. So I am 24 years old. Not year old, years old. The last example, Tom and Bob is good friend. So we have plural form here, the verb in the plural and the noun in the plural. So Tom and Bob are, not is, good friends, not friend. So yeah, that's the end of this revision. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot of things from it. That's the end of today's lesson 67. Until then, see you soon in lesson 68 on our 2 YouTube channels, House School Hassane and House College Hassane. Thanks for watching. Goodbye and good luck.